I would like to preface first that I have not played Roller's Empty Past, the sequel to this game, so I know nothing and will use nothing from the sequel in this video. Escaped Chasm is a game that I've actually been meaning to play for a very, very long time. Though I guess what I truly mean by that though is that I've meant to finish this game for a very long time. Over 4 years ago I made a video on Escape Chasm, and somehow I didn't beat the 30-minute game in one sitting. Despite this, however, I've known since that day that I've wanted to beat this game because I've always found it to be interesting. But since that day, this game has eluded me, always sitting at the back of my mind, being something that I know I should do and that I know I should play, but never having the will to do it. I always procrastinated playing this game, which is actually why I was so surprised when Escaped Chasm's main theme deals with exactly what I suffered from: procrastination. Escaped Chasm is a fairly unpopular game. That isn't to say though that's bad, but not people know about it or have played it, so I think that it's especially important because of this to just give a summary of what exactly it is. Escaped Chasm is a very short 2019 RPG developed by Timmy Chang with some music from Toby Fox. The story of Escape Chasm follows a lonely girl in her attempts to try and find her parents. Every day she looks around, trying to see if her parents are in the kitchen, restroom, basement, her Snake Melodies tank, everywhere, but day after day she can't find where they are. On the second in-game day, the girl meets a man named Zara, who tells the girl that her house is going to become worse and worse as time progresses. This statement does become true, as during the next day, the house does indeed become worse. Ultimately, the game has multiple endings, but the best ending is when the lonely girl listens to Zara and takes up an offer of his. She may follow him into another world in an attempt to find her parents, but simultaneously lose all knowledge of them, along with being disconnected from Zara. The game therefore ends with the lonely girl traveling to this new world, seeing what she becomes, excited but scared of the journey ahead of her. After playing this game and really starting to digest it, it's my personal belief that this portion of the game, the best ending, is the ultimate message that Escape Chasm is trying to preach to the player: the importance of action and risk-taking to dispel procrastination in an action. This concept of procrastination is demonstrated throughout the game, shown most by the lonely girl's response to her parents not coming home. Despite well knowing that there's no way that her parents are in her house, the lonely girl solely looks within the house to try and find them. The one time she looks outside and leaves the house, chaos and destruction lurk outside, forcing her back inside due to her fright. The house represents procrastination itself, the action of inaction, thinking that one has done something when one really hasn't. The bleak and seldom colors of the house exacerbate this. The house is only blue and black, and her descriptions of objects are precise and succinct, representing not only the lonely girl's sadness due to her parents' absence, but also how life has become so dull and boring because of her procrastination. Yet she's done nothing to escape the house that traps her within this torment. This is when the character of Zara comes in, whom I believe represents the lonely girl's reasoning, and I believe that there is some evidence for this. During one of the lonely girl's dreams, she sees Zara for what is assumed to be the first time, wondering who he is and what he's doing in her mind. The house has numbed her, making her procrastinate so much to the degree that she doesn't have true reasoning or will to continue any further in life, and I believe that her lack of knowing who Zara is supports the theory that Zara is her reasoning because of this. What perpetuates this idea is how Zara is outside when the lonely girl decides to leave her house for the first time. It's only outside of the confines of her own procrastination that the lonely girl sees her reasoning in its normal habitat. Zara, however, recommends against the lonely girl traveling outside, which might seem to suggest that it's unreasonable for her to go outside, and I believe that is true. Zara knows that the lonely girl is not to the level necessary to function or work outside of her home so far, which is why he later places the portal to leave inside of her house, where she's more comfortable. Furthermore, after meeting Zara outside, the house begins to corrupt and crumble, showing how the lonely girl's procrastination is beginning to deteriorate now that she has the ability to think reasonably without wishing for what she wants to simply come to her. What demonstrates this the most is how, out of all the rooms within the house, the parents' bedroom is by far the most broken one. With the idea that Zara represents reasoning, it only makes sense that the room with the people whom the lonely girl most wishes for and wants to come to her with the little action of herself would be the most broken with the advent of logic. Deep down within her heart, the lonely girl knows that her parents are gone and aren't going to come back, even if she acts. So what does she do? She decides to do nothing, as what point is there in acting and dedicating time when there may be no return? This isn't to say, however, that the lonely girl has no will or hope for her parents to come back, as she very much does, but she puts in the minimum hope and the minimum action as to have the minimum risk thrust upon herself. She is both stuck between complacent and wanting change, which makes it so she doesn't know what to do. It's only when she begins to truly think about her situation with the help of Zara that she knows and learns what is best for her, giving us the true ending. Quite simply, the lesson of Escape Chasm is therefore that, even in times of procrastination and self-satisfaction, there may be a will or a better path to pursue, and only with the help of reasoning and logic may this path be fulfilled.